When I was a kid, something that was extremely popular was trust falls. And essentially, what trust falls are, you are standing there, and someone is standing behind you, and you can't see what they're doing, and you don't know if they're going to catch you, but you fall back, trusting that they are going to catch you. And it pretty much indicated how much you trust someone. Now, this is what life is asking you to do right now. Trust yourself enough to fall into this new chapter that you find yourself in. Whether that's moving, whether that's trying something new, whether that's letting go of something you know you need to let go of, whether that's inviting something new into your life, whatever the case may be, every single person watching this video will have their own specific, unique life case scenario that you feel called or pulled towards. You feel pulled towards falling back into this new chapter, trusting yourself enough to do it. Trusting God, universe, your angels, whatever you believe in, enough for you to enter this new chapter, knowing that you are going to be caught. Just like in trust falls, when you fall back and the person actually catches you, you think like, why was I so anxious about this before? Why was I worrying about this? Why was I ever second guessing this person wouldn't catch me? That's typically what happens after you're caught. Because at first, maybe it was super scary and you were anxious and you were worried, and then you were caught and you realize you had no reason whatsoever to be anxious or worried or not trust the person in the first place. Now, if you did trust falls and the person didn't catch you and you hit your head and something bad like that, don't think about that for this case scenario, okay? Imagine the person did catch you. That's terrible, but like seriously, imagine the person did catch you. You would be wondering, why was I worried in the first place? Like, I was caught, nothing bad happened. And that's essentially what life is asking you to do right now. Trust yourself enough to know that if you fall back, free fall back into this new chapter, you are going to be caught in the best way possible. You are going to be caught and you are going to be brought to this new space, this next chapter, this next page, this next section of the story that you're going to be able to continue to write once you allow yourself to first experience it and to actually dive into the chapter that you feel pulled towards. We all have intuition embedded within us, so we all feel certain pulls and tugs towards certain things. But it's just essentially allowing ourselves to trust ourselves enough to actually dive into this new chapter or this new direction that we feel pulled towards, even though it's unfamiliar. It's like walking down the woods and you see a path that's different from the path that you typically take. It will probably bring you back to where you're supposed to go, but because the pathway is unfamiliar, you're like, oh, I'm not going over there, even though that pathway could have like berries or something, like a cute bunny. I don't know, guys. I be coming up with random scenarios and random examples on the spot. The main point of this video is me reminding you that you are able to trust yourself enough to fall into this new chapter. You are completely capable. And you know what? Life is about experiencing. So if you experience it and it's not for you, great, now you know. And if you experience it and it is for you and it just multiplies your life by 10, amazing, great. Continue on the path. It's like you won't know till you try. In order to go somewhere you've never been, you have to do something you've never done. It's just a part of it. You have to allow yourself to trust yourself enough and trust God, universe, your angels, whomever you believe in enough to dive into this new chapter knowing that you are going to be caught. It's going to be okay. Even though it is scary, even though it is unfamiliar, allow yourself to go down it. You've come too far, actually. You've come too far. You are doing things completely different than you used to do them, and that's because you allowed yourself to take a chance on yourself, right? So continue down that path. Every time it might feel a bit more scary, a bit more unfamiliar, but this is just progressing. This is expanding. This is allowing you to grow your world even more because you get to define the limits of your life, right? So, I know it's easier said than done, but this video is your sign. It's your reminder. It's your push. It's your tug. It's your pull. It's that extra thing, that extra nudge that you maybe need to free fall into this new chapter, okay? Especially since 2025 is here. I know that you may have a new direction that you see for yourself, and you may be given all of these opportunities to dive into, but you're maybe not allowing yourself to actually go into them and free fall and trust yourself enough to fall back, right? I'm here to tell you that you can. Okay? Trust yourself enough and trust in life enough and all the things that you believe in enough to dive into this new chapter. You are protected. It's going to go great. And even if it doesn't go the way you envisioned and you see it as negative, it's actually a positive because it's getting you closer to where you do want to see yourself. You see, like, you always have to try things that maybe don't click with you first in order to get closer to where you do see yourself clicking. Sometimes it happens that way. It depends on what point of your journey you're at. We're all at different points in our journeys. And so it's just discovering and exploring that. And another thing, this is leading back into the trust fall example. Let's say you couldn't do the trust fall, okay? As a kid, sometimes people would be like, oh, I can't do it. Like, the person would be like, go, go, and the person just could not fall back. But then maybe they step back and they let someone else do the trust fall. And that person's fine. They're caught. They have a good time. They laugh afterwards. And you're like, maybe I could have done the trust fall. Maybe I could have done the trust fall. I should have done the trust fall. And that's essentially what can happen in life too. When you look at something and you're like, I don't know if I trust myself enough to fall into that right now. But then you may see someone else going out there and doing it. And you may be inspired. And then you're like, well, I think I can do it now because I saw that person do it. Don't wait. Don't wait to see someone else do something to allow yourself to become comfortable. Do it uncomfortable. Do it without the other representation and the other examples. This is something that I really had to rewire in my brain, and I still have to maneuver and readdress things. It was definitely a very strong conditioning when it comes to my earlier years in life, like knowing that first someone else has to do it and then it's safe to do it. You know, it's like, oh, they did it. Okay, I can do it now. Try doing it first. Try being the first one this time. You don't need another person to do the trust fall before you. You need you to take a chance on you and to trust yourself to do the trust fall first before anyone else has done it. And seeing what comes from it. Yeah. And don't always assume it's going to be something negative, okay? Over here we assume positivity and not toxic positivity because there are things in life that can be painful and they can hurt, but it's what you do from the challenges that create the real experience in the ending of the story, or how the transition goes from one chapter to the next. Another quote I'm bringing into this year is to start wondering more often what's next than what if. Because when we sit there and we're like, what if this? What if that? But what if this? What if that? Instead of saying, okay, I did it, what's next? So less what if and more what's next. Because there doesn't need to be a what if you've already done it and you're wondering what's next. Do you know what I'm saying? Less wondering in the negativity, less wondering in the negative possibility, but more doing it, feeling the fear and doing it anyways, and then asking, what's next? Like, I did it. So anyways, trust yourself enough to fall into this new chapter. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Remember that you are completely capable of becoming the authentic, best version of yourself, and that everything is always working out for you, no matter what it seems like at any given point in time. I will see you guys in the next video.